No, we're alive, right? Yep, we're alive. Celebrate being live. Nice drink of coffee. Okay, yep, mic's working. Video's working. Hello, everybody. This is Zack with Cardinal Gaming Repair. If you're local, CNA Games. If you're not local, today is a follow-up to the previous repair stream that I did. I'm sure you should be able to find that on whatever platform you're watching, one way or the other. But we left off with a PS5 Slim that was dead, no power. I measured a short to ground on a capacitor under the Southbridge. It was also the issues that it was having were indicative of a Southbridge failure. Did a little bit of research and found out that supposedly the stencil for the previous generation Southbridge also works on this new Southbridge. They have a slightly different part number, like CXD 9061 GG for previous revisions, and then 69 GG for the current revision for the PS5 Slim. So we are going to test that theory, find out for sure, because I do have stencils for that Southbridge. So hopefully, and I also have a PS5 Slim that has the same Southbridge model that we bought for parts because of a graphics RAM failure. So we are gonna take the Southbridge off of that part system and put it on here, and hopefully it works the way that it's supposed to. So we're going to start the process today by going ahead and getting our preheater started. I like to use the preheater for Southbridge removal because it's a relatively large BGA IC, and just heating up the board with my hot air rework station would likely cause some issues with board flex, and I want to avoid that since this is not my board. So I've got my preheater started, and while the preheater is running, okay, yeah, we're at 320 on the preheater. While the preheater is running, we are gonna begin the process of taking apart our PS5 Slim. Drew, hello. Move over here. That's not the right one. That's the right one. All right, so we have this PS5 Slim that we bought for parts. I was able to verify that this is a graphics RAM failure by using the UART tool, the console service tool that exists on the internet. Had a bad runaround with the software that existed before that. Well, I guess it still exists by, what's his name? Oh, I can't remember his name. The guy that scammed us out of money, pretty much. The short end of it was he was using his software, and we purchased his software, and he is very particular about your computer not having any traces of any other competing softwares on your computer, and he will prevent you from being able to use his software and inevitably ban you from the use of the software, even though 99.9% of people are not doing anything malicious. It's like, yes, I'm going to try the free software before I pay for yours. And no, I'm not doing anything that would establish intent to make your software accessible by other softwares or record information or steal data for use in other softwares. I'm just a guy trying to fix stuff. That's it. But yeah, bought his software because it was supposedly the best option at the time. And then he hit me and most other users with the it was a temporary ban, but it was just like the awkwardness of going through trying to get that stuff fixed while also like just being having your software be made inaccessible because you are so scared of somebody else stealing your information is you don't see any of the big companies doing that, and I don't know if that's the right way to handle it or not, but it was definitely not a good customer experience between us and just about everybody else in the repair community who paid for that software. But at this point, I think he got backlash from enough people to change his ways, but I'm not using his software as a principal now, just because the free equivalent seems to be doing the job as effectively as I need it to. So we've ended up inevitably paying for software that we don't use, and the free equivalent ended up getting where we needed to get to in order to be reasonably useful. But it is very useful software. It lets us effectively troubleshoot a wide variety of power-related issues with, I think, all PS5s actually. All PlayStation 4 and up. And that is really useful if you want to eliminate a lot of the troubleshooting that's involved with no power issues that aren't straightforward. As there's no good way to test for something like a graphics RAM failure than to just plug up a little code reader to the system and have it tell you that that's the problem. So it's a big benefit. Big benefit, especially in a, I guess you'd call us a, I don't know what kind of volume we are, but we, in a capacity where an amount of repairs are being done every day. Well, most days. I would normally, yes, there are, well, I don't know if I would say better, because they are all doing the same thing, which is just reading output from the system through, actually it's these little points right here. If you can see them, you just connect a little UART reader to TX, RX, and ground, and then it will request the codes or read the codes, and whatever is wrong, it's you know, the value of these the value of these softwares is that they're taking the codes and turning it into something that I can understand, because I don't know what 0x00000086866869 or whatever, I don't know what that means. But and Sony does not make it to where I can know what that means, because they don't make this information available. God forbid people, you know, attempt to fix their own stuff, but yeah, they want you to send it in to warranty so they can just replace it, and then this can end up in landfill. But that's neither here nor there. That's nothing that's going to change anytime soon. But yeah, they're pretty much taking those codes and figuring out what those codes mean, and then taking those codes and turning them into a text that dumb people like me can understand. Now normally I would use power tools for this, but it's so far away. Oh, that's right now. Oh, we only have, yeah, we have 3, 4 if you count this one, PS5s in the repair queue. It is, it has become overwhelmingly our most popular repair device, and I prefer that because it's also the system that we charge the most for repair on. We have I'd say a pretty good setup in the sense that our value, the value we present in fixing your device is tends to be about half the price of buying a new one, and unless you seek repair from, of course, another company who's probably charging in the realm of the same thing that I am, or trying to get warranty through PS5 or through Sony, it's a pretty good value proposition in my opinion. You know, how could I, man, I'm still managing to forget screws every time I do this. No, I don't have the model number on this side, I guess. Even though I know it's the same. They look exactly the same. After I get this board popped out, we should be able to, and I won't be able to show it on camera directly, but be able to pull the Southbridge off the failed Southbridge. Pull the failed Southbridge off the customer motherboard. There we go. We got there eventually. And the good thing about this is I bought this for parts just a couple days ago, and we're already using it. Because that chip is not available for purchase. And Southbridge is what's talking to the UART reader, so being able to read codes from this is an indication of a working Southbridge, so that makes me comfortable with swapping this board. And also, I would consider myself not a complete master at reballing. So stuff like this gives me an opportunity to reinforce my skill, which is, the more I do it, the better I'll get at it. We've got the board heated up enough. The customer board heated up enough. I'm gonna go ahead and prepare this. I don't know how much you'll be able to see, but I've got the customer board in a preheater, and I'm just gonna clamp down on the Southbridge with tweezers, and I'm heating up this until the Southbridge pops off. Trying to not keep the heat focused on one area, and it's off. Pretty quick, actually. So this is the bad Southbridge. or the supposed bad Southbridge. We're going to test that. There's not really a good way for me to... one thing I can do while we're in here is this big capacitor on the underside. I can actually try to see if there's a short to ground on it, to see if, because that is what was short to ground on our customer device. So this one should not measure short to ground. If it does, I'm going to be upset, because then there's a chance that Southbridge isn't the issue. But I'm reasonably certain that it is. So we are on voltage, we need to be on diode mode. All right, diode mode, red probe on ground. Yep, we have a diode mode reading of around 412, or some low fours. And the other one was short to ground. So that is all I need. That is all I need to say relatively confidently that it was indeed a Southbridge issue. Now, the only thing that's unfortunate about this is I don't want to, especially on the customer device, I don't want to remove the board from heat. Instead, I want to let the preheater cool down slowly and cool down the board with it. So that is going to introduce an amount of weighting. Fortunately, once the board cools down enough, we can just throw this one on and then pull the Southbridge. This is the assuming working Southbridge. But one thing that we can do, and I've got the Southbridge stencil right here to test. We can see if this does indeed follow the same stencil. Well, this is dirty. Oh, that's 64 GG. Okay. Well, that's not the one that I wanted. All right, 61 GG. I did not go to school for this. I just did it for... I started out by sucking. No, okay. I was getting scared for a second. I need to clean this off. We got... So, about 10 years ago, when I was first getting into buying and selling video games, two things happened. I started getting a bunch of Pokemon games with dead save batteries, and I started getting handheld systems that were not functioning for one reason or another. This was when the... Yes, this stencil does work. All right, great. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. YouTube is not... Stream health. Poor. Why is stream health poor? I've got steady 60 frames per second on Facebook. Oh, well, there was two downtimes. Yeah, frame rate on Facebook's actually only 8 frames per second. Why? Why is our internet bad? What's happening here? Do I have something else going on? Yeah, network use on the... Let's see if I can fix this real quick. Yeah, I'm getting dropped frames consistently. Why would this be happening? Well, I didn't want to do network troubleshooting. This isn't a network troubleshooting repair stream. Let's see if our... Okay, well, high latency detected on the internet almost recently, or very recently. No, I'm still dropping a lot of frames. This is bad. Yep, we got packet loss and high latency detected on the internet. And I'm still getting, yeah, I'm at 20% drop frames. All right, we're gonna stop this stream, and I'm gonna reboot our internet here. See if that helps. So, yeah, we'll be right back. Hopefully, it doesn't mess up. Ooh, I would love to have a secondary internet.